Hi, today we are going to work on Mastery Quiz number 1. There are 3 parts to this Mastery Quiz. The first part is to simplify the expression. The second part will be to evaluate this expression when given what the variables equal. And the third thing will be to solve this equation for the given variable. All right, let's begin. So the first thing is simplify the expression. Now remember, an expression is a problem with no equal sign. We are not going to figure out what x equals. We are going to simplify it as much as possible. We are going to combine like terms, get it down to its simplest form. You notice there are parentheses and there's a number in front of the parentheses. Remember what we do with that. We have to distribute. So the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is multiply the 3 to the x and the plus 2. So 3 times x is 3x. 3 times the plus 2 is plus 6. Now, you'll notice there's a plus sign here. Okay, well that means that's a positive 2. So we are going to multiply 2 times x and then 2 times the minus 4. Well, positive 2 times x, that's going to be a positive or plus 2x. And then the positive 2 times the minus 4, remember, it's going to be minus 8. 2 times the minus 4 is a minus 8. Now, we're not done yet because now we have to, remember, combine like terms. Combine the things that are alike. 3x plus 2x. Okay, that's 5x. And then we also have a plus 6 and a minus 8. Okay, positive 6, take away 8. That leaves you with negative or minus 2. That is your simplified expression. The next one is slightly different. Okay, we have a minus sign in front of the 4. So we got to be careful. When we get to that part, we've got to be extra cautious and make sure we're keeping the signs where they're supposed to be. First of all, let's distribute the 5. So 5 times x, 5x. 5 times a minus 1, again, that would be a minus 5. Now, this is a minus 4 in front. That minus is going to be distributed along with the 4. So it's kind of like having a negative attached to it. So a negative 4 times x would be minus 4x. And a minus 4 times a plus 2 would be a minus 8. Again, just like on the last one, we're going to combine the variables, combine the like terms. So 5x and minus 4x, that's going to leave 1x, or just plain x. Remember, you don't have to write the 1 in front. And then we've got a minus 5 and a minus 8. Well, minus 5, take away 8 more, that would give us minus 13. So x minus 13 is our simplified expression. Okay, the second part is to evaluate this expression. So the first thing we're going to do is replace the variables with the numbers. So let's rewrite it. So we've got 11. Take away 6, minus 6, to the 4th power, plus 5. Now 5p, remember, means 5 times p. There's 2 ways you could write this. Okay, you could either go 5 and then the dot and then the 2, but most math teachers would prefer to use parentheses because it's multiplication. We do not use the times sign. Okay, use parentheses, put it around it. Now, I'm going to figure out this problem first by hand with the assistance of the calculator, and then I'm just going to do the whole thing with the calculator. Okay, but what we need to remember is order of operations. Okay, remember PEMDAS. P stands for parentheses. E stands for exponents. Okay, I'm going to write this a little bit different. I'm going to put M for multiplication and D for division. Now, I'm going to write it that way because a common mistake is, remember, multiplication and division, it's whatever occurs first. You don't always do the multiplication first. You might do division first. Same thing with addition and subtraction. So I'm going to put the A and then the S. Okay, PEMDAS. Again, Addition, subtraction, it doesn't matter which one comes first, that's the one you do. You don't always do the addition first. All right, so looking over here at this problem, we have parentheses. So we're going to take care of that first. So 11 minus 6. Well, 11 minus 6, I believe, is 5. So we have 5 to the 4th power plus 5 times 2. Okay, I'm doing one step at a time. Sometimes you can do more than one step at a time. So, all right, I did the parentheses. Next thing is the exponent. Well, I'm going to use the calculator to help me out here. All right, so we are going to go ahead and take 5. Use your caret key on the calculator, and then 4. So 5 to the 4th power. 625. So 625 plus 5 times 2. Now again, you probably could have already done the 5 times 2, but I'm going to check the exponent off because that's the only thing I did. Okay, the next thing, now we're going to go ahead and do the multiplication, the 5 times the 2. So we still have 625 plus, and 5 times 2 is 10. So I did the multiplication. There is no division. So the next thing is addition or subtraction. Well, there's only addition left. So 625 plus 10, I believe, is 635. Voila! We have evaluated that expression. Now, we can do all of this on the calculator. If we take and type in exactly what we wrote right there, it's going to give us the answer. All right, so let's go to the calculator. So we'll go ahead and do the parentheses. And then we've got 11 minus 6, close it. Caret key for the power, so 4th power. Okay, and then we have the 5 times, whoops, I forgot the plus sign. Let me put the plus sign in. So plus 5 times 2. Okay, make sure you type it right. As you notice, I made a couple mistakes as I was typing it. It's very easy to do. So before you press the enter button, make sure it looks exactly like you want it to. 11 minus 6 to the 4th power plus 5 times 2. The calculator will do all the work for you. It does the PEMDAS automatically. Voila, there it is, 625. Easy as that. All right, let's continue. One more. Solve the equation for the given variable. Now remember, there are tons of equations that we could solve. There's the one-step equations, two-step equations. There's three-step equations, four-step equations. There's all kinds of equations, okay? This is like a four-step equation. Now, I always come up with a strategy. I learned this early on when I was learning math way back in elementary, junior high, middle school, high school. I always come up and try to stick with a certain way of doing things. I like to keep my variables positive. Okay? I don't like working with negatives unless I have to. So to solve this, remember, we want to get the variable by itself. We want to get the m by itself. Now, this is a common practice with a lot of people. You draw your line vertically from the equal sign, so you know, okay, we got to do something on both sides. Remember, it's a scale. What you do to one side, you got to do to the other side. Well, I'm going to try to keep the variable positive. So the first thing I'm going to do is I notice I've got a positive 9m and I got a 5m. Okay, well, 9 is on the right side, 5m is on the left. I'm going to get rid of the 5m. Now remember, you do the opposite. So I'm going to take away 5m from both sides. Okay, 5m on the left side is gone. It zeroes out. I'm left with a 4 equals. Okay, 9m take away 5m. Remember, you can only add and subtract like terms. So 9m take away 5m is 4m minus 16. Okay, again, remember our goal is to get the variable by itself. So the next thing we need to do is get rid of the minus 16. And again, what you do to one side, you do to the other, and you do the opposite. So we are going to add 16 to both sides. So it zeroes out over here. So we are left with 4m on the right side. And on the right side. The left side is 20. Well, one step left. We're down to a one-step equation. Divide by 4. Okay, the 4's cancel. You're left with m equals 5. We have solved that equation. Now, please remember, you can always check your answers, and especially with a calculator to help you. So we've got m equals 5. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to check both sides of the equation. So I'm going to take 5 times 5 plus 4 equals, okay, well, I'm just going to go ahead and do this. 5 times 5 plus 4. 29. So that equals 29. Okay, now I'm going to take 9 times 5. Again, m is 5, so 9 times 5 minus 16. Okay, 9 times 5 minus 16. So I can go 9 times 5 minus 16, and oh, look, they equal the same thing, 29. Okay, hey, I got it right. So don't forget about that check step, especially on a multiple choice test that you will probably take sometime in your life. You can always look at those answers and use your check step to see which one is the answer. All right, that concludes Mastery Quiz number 1.